So when is it okay to put a hole in the side of the boat? I guess when it's for a project that really needs to be done. Hi, I'm Nika Waters, and welcome to the Boat Galley Podcast. Today I'm talking about a hole that I deliberately put in the boat and how I covered it up. Today's episode of the Boat Galley Podcast is sponsored by Shambhala Sailing Adventures, offering customized learning charters in the Exumas, Bahamas. Sailor like you owner with coaching from Captain Suki Cannon. Contact her at captainsuki@gmail.com. That's CAPTAINSUKY@gmail. Mention this podcast for 10% off.
The time will come yet for letting go. Slow down.
Our boat is steered by a tiller, so we don't have a wheel, which means we don't have one of those cool binnacle spots to put a compass. So because we can't put a compass on a binnacle, we use the bulkhead that forms the forward end of the cockpit for all of that. And we've got this gorgeous, amazing bulkhead mounted compass that you can't really buy anymore. Instead of having a black steel or a black plastic ring around it, ours is bronze. Maybe it's just one of the things all boat owners go about doing. You probably have some things that you know that it fits the way the boat looks. And that's one of the reasons you bought the boat, is because of how it looks. We bought this beautiful, beautiful compass, 25, 27, 28, sometime, a long time ago, right after we bought the boat. It was one of the very first pieces of gear that we put on after we bought her. And we had to drive 1,000,000 miles up I-45, and we were living in Houston at the time. And we had to drive up to this special navigation store that had it. And yes, even at that time, we probably could have gotten something a little less expensive, a little less fancy, a little less specialized and perfect for our boat that was more readily available at West Marine. But we absolutely wanted the bronze bezel that goes around, the bronze ring that goes around the compass. And we were absolutely willing to pay a premium for it. And sometimes making the decision to spend a little bit more money on pieces of gear that will make you smile and just kind of caress them every time you look at them, it's absolutely money well spent. Well, over the past 25 or longer years that we've had it, the dome of the compass has gotten crazed. It's gotten kind of cracked. The glass has gotten cracked, and there has to be a small leak somewhere, even though there's no mineral oil that we can see anywhere else, because there's a bubble of air in the compass that wasn't there before. We looked into buying a new one because when we initially looked, they said, okay, this compass isn't made anymore, and the company's actually out of business, and there were kind of one or two places maybe in the country that could repair them, and it was going to be super expensive, more than what probably the compass cost new to fix it. But then we started to look into whether we could even buy a new one. And no, you can't. You can't buy one, or at least we couldn't find one that had that bronze around the outside of it, not without paying some absolutely incredibly ridiculous amount of money, like $1,500 or something for it. And we said, yeah, that's going a little bit too far. And the repairing the compass should be about $350. So we decided that yes, we were absolutely going to repair the compass. Well, the first thing you have to do to be able to repair it is you have to take the compass out of the side of the boat. And I took it out. I went in there with a screwdriver and I pulled it out. The sealant came out. It's been very well sealed and affixed to the bulkhead. And when we pulled it out, there was this huge monster hole on the side of the bulkhead. And in fitting, we couldn't leave it because it was going to be, 3 or 4 weeks probably before the compass was repaired. And we couldn't leave the hole just there. We need to be able to keep water out of the boat. And so in keeping with the aesthetics of the boat, I needed to have some wonderful, perfect, custom crafted, lovingly finished, perfectly suited to our traditional boat cover. So yeah, I grabbed the top to a Rubbermaid container, affixed it with some sealant on the sides, and I covered up that hole. Yeah, I think I should go into business. That's how everybody covers up a hole in the boat, isn't it? Thanks for listening to the Boat Galley Podcast. We share amusing stories, tidbits, advice, and things about what it's like to get ready to go cruising again on this podcast. There's 2 episodes that come out every week, one on Monday and one on Thursday. Have you subscribed yet? Please do. Drop us a line. We love to hear from our listeners. Meanwhile, though, we can't wait to see you out there. Have a fantastic week.